Good evening once again, ladies and gentlemen. You already know who this is. It is your boy Lewis, and I'm back once again with another banger with yet another video. Make sure to hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell to always receive the latest and greatest content, man. I truly appreciate you guys for always taking the time to watch my videos, and make sure at the end of this video, make sure to like and share this video. It'll only help the channel grow. Appreciate you guys. Hope you guys are having a wonderful evening. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So according to this title, you see a pathetic player who I was a fan of, who loves to control narratives, and now I've officially said is not the best player in the world. Where you're looking to his right, at least to my right, you're looking at to one of his apologists, Colin Cowherd. But in this video, he is going to kill two birds with one stone. Where it says in the title right here, as you guys can see, where it says LeBron has been a lousy leader this year, and he defends Stephen Curry's legacy. Now, you ask yourself, is this an agenda, or is Colin Cowherd actually going to speak facts on this? So without further ado, let's hop into the video. And once again, I will pause at certain moments, and then I will give my thoughts on what he has to say on LeBron's leadership and Curry's underappreciatedness.
Look up. It's almost worship psychologically. You're more willing to listen. But the most powerful moment is when one of those public speakers, I mean the Pope in St. Peter's Square, right? Out of a window, up there, looking up. Most powerful moment, though, is when the politician, the public speaker, Tony Robbins, comes off the stage and engages with you. He joins you. He is now one of you. Tony Robbins does that with his speeches. About 40.
Now, before Colin continues, look at this once again. It says, all hail the king. How am I going to hail the king when you see that little graphic right below Colin, right next to all hail the king, you lose to the worst team in the NBA in a 9-point loss. And LeBron James, look at that stat line. Wow, isn't that beautiful? Another near triple-double, and it had no impact on defensively, and the Lakers lose again by 9 points. Yeah, we have to hail the king because he plays for Los Angeles. All because he's the best player in the game. I'm going to say this once again, and I don't care if the fanboys don't like it. LeBron James is not the best player in the game anymore. The best player in the game is up for grabs. And right now, that title is vacant. There is no clear-cut best player.
5 minutes of rah-rah-rah, then about 45 minutes to an hour in the arena, on the floor, connecting with you. That's what the great ones do. The great politicians do it. The great speakers do it. The great TED Talkers do it. LeBron James has been the best player in the NBA, I'd say, for about 13 years.
Lies. That means if it was 13 seasons, that means he'd be the best player since 2006. That is a blatant lie. Real fans know that Kobe Bryant was the best player in 2006. Steve Nash won the MVP that year, but Kobe Bryant was the best player in 2006. LeBron James was just in his third season, and he had a great year. He averaged 31 points a game. Kobe Bryant averaged 35. Allen Iverson averaged 33. The top three scorers in the game were within 2 points of each other. LeBron 31, Iverson 33, Kobe 35. But LeBron James was not the best player in the NBA. So, Colin, nice try, you apologist, trying to defend once again your idolatry, infatuation with King James over here, with your husband. But that's completely wrong. LeBron James did not become the best player in the NBA until 2012. Kobe was the best player at that time. So please stop with the nonsense. It's just they don't want to admit it because of the bias and the hate for Kobe, and because he doesn't like the media, and because of the rape trial. But we all know, real G's out there know, all players in the NBA have said it. Kobe Bryant was the best at that time. LeBron James himself has said it. So I don't want to hear this stupid nonsense, Colin. Trying to hide. Nice.
He has been on a stage. Players look up to him. Players listen to him.
No. Players that are entering, that are part of his generation from when he played, look up to him. That's why he tried to get Anthony Davis, but yet he set him up. Anthony Davis, once again, I'm going to say, ladies and gentlemen, 24 years old. He's a puppet under LeBron James. He thought he could go and demand a trade to the Pelicans. Sorry, demand a trade from the Pelicans to go to the Lakers. But all LeBron did was set Anthony Davis up so bad that now Anthony Davis is no longer in control of his situation. Look what idolizing LeBron James and listening to him after LeBron took him out for that 2 for 20 got him. He's no longer in control of his situation. And it just shows you that the Pelicans were never going to budge, not one bit. Maybe Lonzo kind of looked up to him, and then when he saw what the real truth was, you really haven't heard from Lonzo, even from the time that he's been injured. And it's more so generational fanboys on social media, especially. They're the ones that look up to LeBron. But this whole thing about people look up to him and stuff like that, yeah, there may be some, but you're over-exaggerating and overstepping your bounds on that one.
All eyes are on him. They follow him politically. They follow him financially. They follow him professionally. But the down...
Politically, something LeBron knows nothing about. You're going to sit here and honestly tell me that you honestly think that LeBron knows anything about politics? He's a corporate sponsor for Nike, for God's sakes. There's no way that you're telling me he knows anything about politics. He'll say it like he knows it, but he has no idea what he's talking about. Just like how Anthony Davis is a slave for LeBron because he's a generational player and he idolized LeBron. LeBron is a slave for Nike. LeBron doesn't know a goddamn thing about politics and about racism. This is why I keep telling y'all that I keep telling you guys, this is why LeBron needs to keep his mouth shut. Him opening his mouth and his actions not speaking louder than his words has been one of the demises of LeBron's career. As great as LeBron is, he's been fooling you with his shenanigans for years. It's LaFoolery at its finest.
Side to being on that stage is all eyes are on you, and there is a great burden and a great responsibility. LeBron James this year has never stepped off the stage. He's had a lousy year as a leader. Not as a player. He's still very good.
Uh-oh. Colin, what are you getting at? LeBron has been a lousy leader this year? Well, quite honestly, he's been a lousy leader for quite a long time. You've tried to defend it constantly about how great LeBron James is and how he galvanizes his teammates. Now, all of a sudden, he's a lousy leader? What's going on here? Did you and LeBron get into a big fight when you guys were in bed together? Because judging by the way you sound right there, and you look kind of disappointed. It almost seems like if you're preparing to divorce LeBron. Is that what I'm getting at, Colin? Looks like you might be trying to do a divorce settlement. That's what it sounds like to me.
He failed to connect.
Right.
He failed to engage his young teammates.
Right.
He failed to mobilize, galvanize the locker room.
Right.
He never made a true effort.
Nope.
After the injury.
No.
To connect with Luke Walton.
Of course not.
One of the things we always hear about Tom Brady.
He hasn't done it the entire year. That's why I get it angers me every time I keep hearing this whole thing that he's never played for a Hall of Fame coach. He knows that if he plays for a Phil Jackson or Greg Popovich, they would cut his nonsense. They would take away the workload of the ball and the amount of shots he would take. He would have less rebounds, less assists, and he would get no credit. And what would happen is the narrative would change. LeBron's playing great, but having that coach that he's never had that helped him win, and that he's won the championships because of the coach and because of the system he plays in. LeBron wants to be responsible for everything that happens. He wants to be responsible for winning, but never wants to be responsible for losses.
Anytime we bring somebody on the show that's played with Tom Brady, what do they always say? He walks up to the rookies. Hi, I'm Tom Brady. And they're like, yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. I have your jersey in my bedroom as a kid.
I get sick and tired of every time he compares LeBron to Tom Brady with this stupid analogy. Tom Brady's one of the greatest quarterbacks in NFL history. I respect Tom Brady for what he's accomplished. But we need to stop with this stupid analogy comparing a quarterback who is actually a very good leader in Tom Brady but his offensive line should be getting the MVPs for giving him the time to make those throws. Now, he's worked with less receivers. The most talented receivers he had was that 2007 Patriots that went undefeated in the regular season. And in the divisional and the AFC Championship, right up until they got upset by the Giants in Super Bowl, 42? But this is just a stupid comparison he's been making for years, and it's just retarded. Just like when he makes a comparison of Brady and Jordan. You're comparing a basketball player to a quarterback who just makes throws. It's just a bad analogy.
Tom is stepping off the stage. He's connected. I noticed it first with Obama about 10 years ago. I'm like, man, does that guy get it? It's not just about the stage. It's about stepping off it. Do a selfie. Do a high five. A hug. The great ones do it and they get it. LeBron's never stepped off the stage. He's always been a great player, and I've always loved LeBron.
Now, if you guys don't understand what he's basically saying is, Colin Cowherd, when he says stepping off the stage, he's basically talking about how LeBron has made everything about himself, his characteristics about himself, like he wants the limelight on him. But the thing is, he always does it passive-aggressively, once again, to control the narrative. LeBron is looking at himself as, I am the voice of the voiceless when it comes to NBA basketball. Uses the media to his advantage in terms of controlling a fan base when they don't realize that he is a master manipulator, like I have said for years. This is what LeBron James does. He wants all this credit just to show you that, again, that he is like this wonderful thing that is in this life, that is in this world. But all he's done is fool you. Because he continuously thinks that he can do any single role in the world and be good at it when he's not that great. And if you say one of the reasons that LeBron has, one of the things that he has not figured out in his 16-year career, he's never really been a good teammate, even though there's been false narratives that he's this wonderful teammate. LeBron James wants to play his system and does not want to shows you that he's never been coachable. That's one of his other main issues. He cares about self wins than team wins. And basically what that means is if the team plays together, LeBron James gets all the credit because he did it by himself. When you lose as a team, LeBron James walks away from that and says, I'm not responsible for the team losing. I did every single thing I could to help the team win, and you guys didn't defend. Guys didn't play defense. It's not my job to play defense. I'm supposed to be doing all the scoring, which is what Nick Wright said the other day, and that's why he looked like a fool because, again, if LeBron is the best player in the world, why does he choose not to defend if he's that great? So I'm going to say it again. He's not the best player in the world, and what Colin is saying is absolutely right. LeBron chooses not to come off the stage. He just stays on the stage, and he's a lousy leader. Always has been. It's not just been this season, Colin. He showed poor leadership last year when the rosters changed. So it's honestly a ridiculous assessment.
And I've always defended him to the core. He's actually a very good leader.
Oh, my God. Yes, you have. You have defended him to the max. You would defend him to the moon and back.
Players follow him.
No, he's never been a good leader.
Right. But he had a bad year as a leader. And that's okay. He hadn't had a bad year as a player. LeBron's still great. But then lost.
And that's the problem, Colin. He's always been known as a good player. But he keeps trying to use that as an excuse as to why he's a good leader. But just because you're a good player doesn't mean you're a good leader. And he's tried to use that narrative all season. As a matter of fact, the last couple of years. He's tried to use this thing where he puts up these gaudy offensive numbers to say, I can lead a team. I'm a good leader. When all he does is stat pad, and again, it has no impact on the team's success. So he's not a good leader. We keep giving into this notion that LeBron is a great leader. He's an outstanding leader. Like he really leads his team. He carries. Just because you're a good player does not mean you're a great leader. There's many ways to be a great leader. Once again, shout out to Tim Duncan. This guy was this guy was quiet as a mouse. He's what I call a quiet superstar. He was a quiet leader, but he always led by example. He's not rah-rah. LeBron talks the talk, but he can't walk the walk, man. And the reason he stays on stage is because he honestly thinks that his talking is going to do the walking for him. And every time it backfires, he finds an excuse. The media defends him. And that's why LeBron doesn't even really need to play defense, because the media does a great job defending him. They play better defense than LeBron does, because they defend him at every turn, even though they know it's his fault.
Angeles, it's been a conveyor belt of side projects.
Correct.
Yet to see a Laker in any of them. Not even a walkthrough for Kyle Kuzma in a movie. It's been joining other stars. Hi, I'm up here in the stratosphere.
Oh, did you just expose another narrative? Joining other stars. That's what his whole career has been about. And let me say this, guys. LeBron James has been trying to recruit players since 2006, and I just said it last video. He had an interview with Rachel Nichols and told her on the sit-down, I have feverishly been recruiting players since 2007. The very 2 seasons that the apologists have kept saying, the 3-6 Mafia, that LeBron James was the best player in the world at that time. If you're the best player in the world, why did you get swept to the San Antonio Spurs? Oh, but LeBron was 22. He was a baby. But then with a top 10 player and a top 15 player, they beat Oklahoma City Thunder, and people said the same thing. It was not an excuse. It was so different. I just don't see how that fits. It fits when he was young, but it doesn't fit when the Oklahoma City Thunder were young. Interesting.
Look at me. I'm a mogul. Yeah, I get it. I get the mogul stage. I started talking about it years ago. I get it. The show-off stage, the win a Grammy stage, I'm kind of a mogul now.
Yeah, he's always mentioned that.
I like it. But this has been a really, really bad year for LeBron as a leader.
It's just really bad, pretty much. LeBron James has never been this great leader, and I've said it in so many videos. Thank you for actually smelling the Stay Woke coffee, Colin Cowherd. You're finally coming to your senses. Well, maybe I wouldn't say that, because then there might be, once again, you make another segment and then you switch, because like I said, you and the 3-6 Mafia make excuses and you flip-flop your narratives. So I'm not going to fall for that one, Colin. You're on the money today, right now, in terms of LeBron being a lousy leader, but he's been like that for years. Don't come with this season. He was a lousy leader last year too. I don't care if apologists get upset or they get in their feelings or they get emotionally triggered. They know it's true. It's just they're in denial, as usual. They're delusional. It's an delusional fan base. So LeBron James has never been a great leader. He's just fooled you over the years thinking he is, but he's never been a great leader.
Imagery with Luke Walton, distancing himself on the bench and in timeouts.
I mean, ladies and gentlemen, didn't LeBron do the same thing in Game 1 of the NBA Finals? Oh, but LeBron had 51, 8, and 8. What else do you want him to do? Fanboy excuses. It was a tie game. You still have 5 minutes in overtime, and what did he do? He looked quit. And then self-inflicted his hand injury, which he made an excuse, putting his wife's scarf around his casting after Game 4. That's a great leader. And the funny thing is, he was praising Steph Curry and Kevin Durant and the Warriors after losing Game 3, when that was also a winnable game. If I remember, Rodney Hood scored 15 points in that game. He was 7 of 8 from the field. The role players did their thing and said, LeBron, we left it on the platter for you, man. Just come and close it, man. Seal the deal. Get us this win. The Cleveland Cavaliers had a chance to win 2 games in that series, and they ended up getting swept because your beloved leader, LaQueen James, quit after Game 1. But then he padded his stats to say, I did everything I could. He did the same thing in the 2017 NBA Finals. Oh, and let me say this. For those of you who keep saying that LeBron has never had this 20-point score, that's wrong. Wade averaged 25 in 2012. He averaged 20 in 2013. That's 2 20-point seasons. Kyrie Irving averaged 27 in the 2016 finals And Kyrie Irving averaged 29.4 in the 2017 finals. So I don't want to hear that nonsense that he's never had a 20-point score, because Michael didn't have it in the NBA finals. Don't tell me about Scottie Pippen in the playoffs. Oh, he averaged 22 and 20 in the NBA finals. Michael never had a 20-point score. So stop the cut the crap, stop the nonsense. Stop the presses.
Moment against Phoenix when he inbounded the ball and threw it off the backboard.
That was pathetic.
Any other player in the league could have done that.
Exactly.
But LeBron did it for the first time in his career. It was not a coincidence. LeBron, instead of leading, was basically sending a message. I'm done. The problem is LeBron was done.
I had said before the season started, I wouldn't be surprised if LeBron tried to do the same narratives that he tried to do in Cleveland, and then at some point he would get very tired. He would get tired of this team and said that he's pretty much done. And I said it probably would have happened in January. As Colin Cowherd is about to mention, he says he's done, but he was done by All-Star break, according to Colin. So that's what happened.
About the All-Star break. Great player, great.
Another problem that LeBron has, he doesn't care about his own team. That's another flaw in what he hasn't figured out. He praises other players in the league. He's talked about Kawhi Leonard. He's talked about Klay Thompson. He's talked about Steph Curry, even though I know he personally doesn't like Steph because Steph was vying for that best player mantle in 2016 with the way he performed during the regular season, and which LeBron didn't like. But it's pretty sad though that he's never worried about his own team and he praises everybody else. And once again, he congratulates himself on everything that he does. He honestly thinks that by doing all of this, that's going to make MJ turn around and say, oh man, LeBron, what you're doing is amazing. First of all, if you guys are calling Kobe Bryant such a Michael Jordan copycat, why does LeBron wear 23? Because last time I checked, Kobe wore number 8 at the start of his career. And then he wore number 24, which means he was, like I said, he has his theory on why he wears his numbers, but he didn't copy Michael Jordan in terms of the jersey number. LeBron James did that because he said he idolizes Michael Jordan. Idolatry. Then why is LeBron James doing Space Jam 2? I'm telling you, LeBron the type of guy that if he goes against the Monstars, in my opinion, he is a Monstar, and you had a game on the line to see if you would either win or go to Space Mountain to keep the Looney Tunes, what's going to happen is he's going to be on Team Bugs. He's going to lose. And then what he's going to do is he's going to blame Daffy Duck. He's going to tell Bugs Bunny, don't even mess with that girl Lola, because she's a thought. Touchdown, Tatiana. Touchdown, Tatiana. Now break that shit down. That's exactly what's going to happen. He's going to what? Space Mountain.
Guy, a lot of great qualities, great guys around him, great brand, great net worth, great mind. There's a lot of great with LeBron. He's a lousy leader this year.
Oh, no, he is a lousy leader, but it's been for years, sir.
Got to step off the stage, dude.
Oh.
Got to be one of the peeps, dude.
Oh, no, he's never been about
the lesson from the football.
That's the problem. He ain't about the peeps. He's never been about the peeps. He'll even use his friends if he wants to. I told you, he's a user. He does not give a damn about anybody but himself. And that's what's super sad about it.
Guy who's got 6 titles. And by the way, I'm often critical of Michael Jordan. But I always felt Michael Jordan, when he was with the Bulls, he was all in.
Wait, what? Critical of Michael Jordan, but he was all in? Colin, what's going on here? That Michael Jordan was about the team? Are you about to say he was about the team?
In fact, sometimes I felt Jordan was rallying his teammates against management. But he was always all in with the players.
Wow. Was that what he was about? He rallied with the players because he was about getting guys in. But LeBron distances himself from his teammates. But Lewis, that's what makes LeBron the GOAT. Bullshit.
Can't just be on the stage. Sometimes, gotta high five and do a selfie with your followers. We talk about the star players a lot.
Now that the LeBron BS has ended, and looks like he has settled his divorce settlement with LeBron, which he did it for free. He is going to talk about Steph Curry and why he's underappreciated. If you guys heard, the Warriors won on Saturday, 120-117, and both Iguodala and Draymond Green talk about how great Steph Curry is. Iguodala went as far as saying that Steph Curry is the second best point guard ever, and he says he's very underappreciated. Now, you're going to hear Colin's thoughts, and once again, I'm going to chime in, and I'm going to give my thoughts on what he says. So pay attention closely to what he says about Steph Curry.
We talk about the slightly above, slightly below average players, way less, and we never talk about the mediocre bad players. That's the way it works. By the way, fans mostly get it right, too. But in the media, it's our job to get it right. It's not your job to get it right. It's our job to get it right. Talk about the right people. There's a reason I talk about Brady, talk about LeBron, talk about Saban, talk about Kevin Durant. There's a reason we talk about it. We talk about the Steelers. We talk about AB. We talk about Todd Gurley of the Rams. The media, though, has whiffed on one. Steph Curry is the third most discussed player on the Golden State Warriors. KD should be discussed a lot. Draymond makes a lot of noise, kind of fun. I get it.
True.
But does everybody get 30 years from that? His legacy is going to be changed the entire sport of basketball forever, and he's got 4 or 5 titles. Like that's like, okay, that's not even first class. That's flying the plane. Okay, James Harden, Russell Westbrook, Chris Paul, and Kyrie Irving get discussed significantly more.
True.
We whiff on Steph Curry. This past weekend, Andre Iguodala was talking about it. His teammate Steph Curry said, I still don't think he gets nearly the respect he deserves. I told KD.
So, when you look at what it says right here by Andre Iguodala, man, 2015 Finals MVP, that stuff is a travesty that Curry should have been the MVP in 2015, but they wanted to use that because he guarded LeBron James. That's the reason why that he won the MVP. So it says right here, I still think he doesn't really get the respect he deserves. I told KD, he said he missed me on the shot he took, and I said, y'all two are like MJ. There's no such thing as a bad shot, but when you sit down and have serious conversations, he's the second best point guard ever. You argue that. So we'll continue and to see what Colin says about it, and once again, I'll give my thoughts.
He said he missed on a shot he took, and I said, yeah, you two are like MJ. There's no such thing as a bad shot. When you sit down and have serious conversations, he is the second best point guard ever. Yes, he is. But even Magic Johnson, I never thought changed the sport. Magic was just great.
Well, I do agree that Magic was great. He did change the sport. He did change the sport. And in what way? Because him and Larry Bird both saved the NBA at the time when the NBA was very low on ratings. Guys were on drugs. There was a lot wrong with the NBA. And so basically what Magic Johnson and Larry Bird did was they changed the game in terms of, again, they made it fun to watch. Those two impacted the game like probably it then arguably did that the game has ever seen.
I didn't think Michael changed the sport. He's just great.
As much as, again, Michael Jordan is great, at the same time, Michael Jordan made the game global along with those players. So you can't say that they didn't change the sport. There's a reason why international players are in basketball now. Michael helped globalize the game. You can't tell me that they didn't change the sport. That's false, Colin.
Wilt Chamberlain changed the sport. They had to change rules for Wilt Chamberlain.
That's true.
LeBron James changed the sport. Players are now positionless. Can you play?
I don't quite necessarily agree with that in terms of LeBron James changing the sport. It's been a lot of too many falsified myths of what LeBron does. LeBron is a great player, but he's not as polarizing as people think. I'll say it again. If you have to have people to tell you what a polarizing figure you are instead of letting your peers do it, and you have to have the media shove it down your throats each and every day, and you have to self-praise yourself. You have to tell the media this. And the thing is, he has certain media members. He's already exposed them. He already said about Dave McMenamin. He says it all the time that, Dave McMenamin knows him. Like, I know who he is. Why do you have to tell me about Dave McMenamin knows me? Like, LeBron has his handlers. He has his people. That's why when I talk about LeBron's had an impact on the game, no question. But it's not the way that people are, once again, like blowing it out of proportion and overhyping it. Not like that. LeBron's a great player, but to me, he's highly overrated. And I would even go as far as more than Kobe.
Can you not not play. But Steph Curry isn't dramatic. He's not needy. He's not on Instagram all day.
Like
He's
LeBron.
not seeking headlines.
Like
he
LeBron.
recruited a great player to come to his team and take shots away.
Here's the difference between Steph's recruiting and LeBron's recruiting. He did it in the offseason. And Steph Curry went to Kevin Durant and they recruited him in the offseason. LeBron James tried to recruit Anthony Davis midseason and tried to put all the blame on AD. And AD ended up being the sacrificial lamb and paid for it. And now the Pelicans can trade him wherever they want. LeBron doesn't get his guy, and he has quit on his Laker team. Now, once again, I still think that the Lakers will make the playoffs. I'm not ready to quit on them yet. I'm not going to flip on a narrative here. It's going to be super hard. Their playoff hopes are likely done if they lose to the Clippers tonight, though, because they still have to face the Warriors. They still have to face the Blazers. They still have to face the Nuggets. They still have tough teams coming up. So their schedule doesn't get easy. And this is a very tough march for them. If they can get it done, LeBron's going to have to really prove his leadership here. Or else, again, he may have his championships, but it's going to look very bad and watch the narrative change. 8 straight finals in the Eastern Conference, but in the Western Conference, you don't make the playoffs in your first year. But the Lakers, when LeBron goes there, he makes you an instant 50-win team, but you guys have 33 losses. The Lakers going to win 54 games, but you have more than 28 losses. LeBron makes you an instant 50-win team, but you guys have more than 32 losses. I said 45 wins at best, but that's not even looking likely right now, especially with the schedule that they have coming up. They still got to play Denver, too.
We generally get it right. We've completely whiffed. 30 years from now, here's what people are going to say about Russell Westbrook. Yeah, I mean, he tripled down.
Here's my problem. We're talking about Steph Curry, and he's bringing up Russell Westbrook, trying to hate on him. This ain't about Westbrook. Like, Colin, leave him alone. At least this season, he's done his best to be a better teammate. His triple-doubles are actually leading to winning. Now, once again, him and Paul George, they've got to prove it in the playoffs. So, like, I'm not ready to go, like, overboard and saying that Russell's doing this wonderful thing. At least this season, he's made a conscious effort in not trying to be in control of everything, letting Paul George shine. We'll see what happens in the playoffs, but leave Russell goddamn alone, Colin. Like, this ain't got nothing to do with him, and you still trying to fight a way out to hate on the brother. Like, come on, man. It's ridiculous.
Kind of an enigma, no titles, kind of hard to play with. That's what they'll say. James Harden, beard, MVPs, probably no titles. He traveled, and the refs never called it. He was a great offensive player.
He's got the refs in his pocket.
What are you going to say about Kyrie Irving? Flat Earth. He left LeBron and the Celtics. Dude was talented. Remember the shot in games?
Kyrie Irving is starting to turn like LeBron James, and it's really just making me starting to not like Kyrie more. Great player, but he's developed too much of LeBron's tendencies, and that's with Kobe in his ear.
But kind of flaky. What people are going to say about Steph Curry is, well, he changed the way they play basketball.
That's correct.
Centers.
And that's why Steph Curry is very underappreciated. He's one of the most underrated defenders in the game of basketball. He's not fast, he's not quick, he's not athletic, he doesn't have the great feet, but he uses his body really well. And like I said, he plays with effort on defense. I told you once again, I'm going to keep saying it in every video. LeBron James stopped playing defense in the prime of his career. And at this point in both of their careers, KD is better than LeBron. Career-wise, no. Currently in the NBA, yes. Because he plays both ends. LeBron just worries about the offensive end and uses that as an excuse to not play defense.
He changed practice.
That's correct.
Like kids just went to gyms and shot threes. My son's not a huge NBA.
It's so funny that when people shoot threes, they yell out Curry. When people take a little paper ball and shoot it in a trash can, they yell Kobe. Do you ever hear people say LeBron when you shoot the ball? It just doesn't sound right. LeBrick.
NBA fan, he knows who Steph Curry is. Like, the media usually gets it right.
No, not always.
Steph Curry. Okay. And maybe it's because Steph isn't loud, and Steph isn't seeking attention, and he's not a personal...
That's the difference between Steph and LeBron. Steph is not an attention seeker like LeBron James is. This is why Michael Jordan has never even bothered to look in LeBron's way. I'm going to say it again. You're wearing his number on your jersey with both the Lakers and the Cavaliers. You also are doing Space Jam 2, something that Kobe Bryant did not do. So it's more like LeBron is trying to be MJ more than Kobe, honestly.
Fireworks show, and he doesn't go on the shop and badmouth teammates. Like, I understand.
This is ridiculous, Colin. He badmouths his teammates to the mainstream media, so what does he need to do it on the shop for? That's the problem. LeBron is not really confrontational. LeBron uses that as a prop to say that I don't take shots at my teammates. You know, I'm this entrepreneur. I'm this great entrepreneur who you can follow and you can learn a lot from me. What I've learned is I've learned how to despise you because of the nonsense that you keep trying to pull off. And I want to like you as an NBA great, and you're still great. But I'm losing respect each and every day because of guys like him. But at least he's killing two birds with one stone and seeing the light. Steph Curry changed the way the game is played. Magic Johnson revolutionized the point guard position. The reason that Magic changed it was because he was a player. First of all, he's the size of a power forward playing the point guard position. But Magic, along with Larry Bird, saved the NBA. So yeah, Colin, they changed the NBA. You can't say that. Michael Jordan globalized the game. You can't say that those guys didn't change the NBA. The NBA is in a different light because of those guys that played.
And I'm guilty of this. We talk about interesting a lot. And Antonio Brown right now is really, really interesting. And maybe Steph Curry's just not interesting enough.
He's a crybaby.
Generally in the media,
not Curry.
Players get the talk.
Antonio Brown.
A little talk. Bad players get none. When's the last time before this I had a Steph Curry segment? A year ago? It's on me. It's on the media. Can't just talk about people who are trying to get talked about.
Did Colin Cowherd just expose the truth? Man, what has gotten into you, sir? And according to some of the people in the YouTube comments on this video, they have said you've been this way for the last week. I wonder if Doug Gottlieb's been in your ear.
Sometimes you got to look beyond that and talk about who is going to end up with one of the all-time great legacies in the history of the sport. I mean, there's how many people can you say in sports changed the sport? I mean, Muhammad Ali changed boxing. Like, boxers became self-promoters. Muhammad Ali changed boxing. Tiger Woods, he changed golf. Like, guys started eating right, doing push-ups. You know, there's like 7 guys in the history of sports that changed it. Steph's the 3rd most discussed Golden State Warrior.
And while most people consider him to be the greatest shooter or one of the greatest shooters of all time, he's never in the conversation for the best player.
Ever.
Ever.
On his own team.
Which I still don't understand. If Steph Curry has changed the way the game is played, yeah, certain teams were playing the style of play, but that's team. With Curry, he made it to the point where an individual player has to be guarded at half court. There's a difference. There were teams that were playing the up and down pace at a time where still post play was utilized. But Steph Curry is an individual player who changed the way the defenses play him. You're not playing him in the half court. You're chasing them off of screens. You're double teaming and triple teaming him so that he doesn't touch the ball. Because the fact is he can once again shoot off the dribble. He can shoot off the catch. You have to guard him from half court. You have to play him 94 feet. It's like many different ways to defend Steph. And it's like I've never seen a player who made the 3 ball so entertaining to watch just when it releases out of his hand. Steph Curry is a showman, and I've said it before. Steph Curry has this MJ aura about him when he steps on the floor. You know you're in for a treat when you come and see Steph Curry play. You're just amazed at his skill set. He doesn't wow you with athleticism. He wows you with his skill set and his shooting. And his handle.
Well, I think he was considered the best player on his team before KD got there.
Right.
But now it's just not even a question.
Yeah, it's like, you know, there is something to be said about incredibly.
But this shows you how much Curry cares about winning and how much he's a true leader. Because again, if he wanted to, he could have told Kevin Durant, "No, I don't want you here because this is my team." Steph Curry's not selfish. He cares about winning more than anything. He's not about stats. And that's one of the things that LeBron has never figured out. Putting his statistics aside for wins. In other words, he can't check his ego out the door. Other players have sacrificed for LeBron James, and he has never had to sacrifice anything. Which tells you that LeBron is not a leader, once again. And why Steph Curry is a great player, and he is a leader. He's just a quiet leader. He reminds me of Tim Duncan in that aspect. Leads by example.
He's the best ball handler in the NBA. He's the best shooter in the NBA.
Correct.
And it's going to be about a decade to 12 years where he's the best at two things. Magic was the best passer and probably the best leader. Magic was never the best shooter, best defender. I mean, Larry Bird was almost as good a passer. So I think we've kind of whiffed on that. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get...
So, ladies and gentlemen, that was just a bit on that. So, once again, I said Colin Cowherd just killed two birds with one stone. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section with what Colin said about LeBron James and Stephen Curry. I thought he killed two birds with one stone, and I thought he spoke some truth. He tried to lie in between with some of his excuses like a 3-6 Mafia apologist would do. But at the same time, he actually told the truth, and he exposed some true narratives here. So, this is your boy Lewis back with another Man One. I appreciate you guys as always. Bless up, one love. Like and share this video. Peace. Thanks for watching.